Well, last night, the House Budget Committee voted to advance President Trump's One Big Beautiful Bill. The legislation contains a number of major tax provisions that could impact farmers and ranchers moving forward. Roger McEowen with the Washburn School of Law joins us now for a breakdown on this. Roger, always a pleasure. So last night, 11th hour, right? So what's next here for this bill?
Well, good to be with you, Suzanne. It's going to go to the Rules Committee in the House, and then it'll go to the House floor, and they're going to try to clear it this week and get it to the Senate by Memorial Day. So we're down to the last week on that if they want to stay on track.
Well, what we know is there's a lot involved here in this legislation. What are the most important proposals that farmers need to know here?
Well, I think there's four of them in particular. There's a lot, but I think there are four that would be of primary importance. One would be continuing the qualified business income deduction that many non-C corporation farming operations are able to claim. That's a 20% deduction on your business income, and that would be increased. That would be continued, and it would be increased to 23%. So that's a really big deal for a lot of farmers. And then restoration of bonus depreciation to 100% retroactive back to the beginning of this year, and taking that out for another 5 years. And then, of course, increase in the Section 179 expense method depreciation amount also. And then the last one would be limiting the 45Z credit to taxpayers that derive their fuel exclusively from domestic feedstocks. And that would be a boon to particularly the ethanol industry.
Absolutely. We know, though, too, in addition to a lot of these proposals, there are some sticking points. I know a lot of folks are highlighting Medicaid and also SALT, the state and local tax deduction. What are you seeing here? How can this bill be advanced with this?
Yeah, that's going to be tricky as they get this thing to the House floor, because the Medicaid, I understand what they're doing, and I think everybody agrees in principle on having work requirements for qualifying for Medicaid. Now we're talking Medicaid, not Medicare. And if you're able-bodied, you should not be getting Medicaid. I think everybody agrees with that. The problem they've got to deal with is some of the state requirements and getting the states to retool their programs to come on board with that. That's going to take some time. And there are some in the House that want this done immediately. Others in the House are saying, well, we've got to give the states time to catch up on it. So that's going to be an interesting dance that we're going to see this week. On the state and local tax deduction, they want to the bill increases it to $30,000. The cap is currently $10,000. They would move it to $30,000, and there are a number in the House that want that pushed to $80,000 or even the cap taken off. Now, of course, those are going to be your high tax states. A lot of those are Democrat-controlled states. So I'm not sure the politics of it. I worry about that too much because there's no Democrat that's going to vote for this bill. I think we could just forget that. But you've got Republicans in districts in high tax states where this becomes a major issue. And the margin is so thin, they need just about every Republican to support the bill. They can only lose a couple. So that's going to be a tricky dance also in the House this week, too.
Well, it's hard, I guess, to avoid the politics of it all, right? Your thoughts, I mean, how this is going to play out with these kind of hurdles?
I think somehow they get it through. I've been absolutely amazed at the Speaker's ability to make something out of nothing over the past several months. It's just been incredible. I thought they were dead in the water on a number of provisions, and he's been able to get it through. I would add another one of those to this movement last night. There may have been something, I'm sure having the president back home and talking with people changed some views in terms of, all right, just vote present, let this get out of the Budget Committee, which is exactly what happened. It only passed by one vote, with several Republicans just voting present. And those would be the fiscal hawks, as they describe themselves, so that they can get this to a full debate on the House floor. So let's watch to see how that debate shapes up this week. It's going to be an interesting week tax-wise.
No doubt. Roger, as always, a pleasure. Thanks for taking the time. We know you're very busy. Roger McEowen with the Washburn School of Law.